Well, I'm telling you what, the trappers need to watch out there in the great state of Maine, because some shit's going down, you guys, because a bill to crack down on illegal marijuana grow operations. The trappers are celebrating because it dies in the state house, you guys. That's right. Trappers are rejoicing throughout New England right now. A way to go after illegal marijuana grows in Maine is no longer on the table at the state house. The bill is dead after a motion in the Senate on Wednesday afternoon, and it was a pretty big proposal supported largely by Republican lawmakers, but some people denounced the bill as racist and unconstitutional. In quotes, these are not one-off illicit grows, Representative John Andrews, Republican from South Paris, said. Andrews calls marijuana busts happening across Maine a vast network of criminal conspiracies that need RICO laws to round up the gangsters at the top, Andrews said. His bill LD 2204 would have established racketeering as a crime at a state level for these kinds of operations, but it also had more controversial ideas, in quotes. I'm concerned because this bill is discriminatory, Representative Suzanne Salisbury, Democratic of Westbrook, said. Under the bill, citizens from China, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, or Russia would not have been able to buy real estate in Maine without becoming permanent residents, which is really xenophobic, and it's not tied to their conduct, just what countries they come from, ACLU of Maine Policy Director Megan Sway said. Andrews says there are similar laws in other parts of the country, and in quotes, and again, it's not me saying these are adversarial nations, it's the federal government, Andrews said. And in another quote, it's been found unconstitutional in other states. The ACLU of Florida sued about a very similar law and won, Sway said. And the bill also called for utilities to report certain power use changes to the police. In quotes, illegal marijuana grows in Maine are a problem. They are being addressed. This bill is not the way to further investigate those, Salisbury said. But ultimately, the House vote on Tuesday essentially decided the proposal shouldn't move forward, in quotes. That we could have addressed yesterday on the state level, but unfortunately, House Democrats again sided with the Chinese communists over Maine people, Andrews said. A handful of Republicans also spoke and voted against it and said, in quotes, it is okay to ask utilities to start spying on U.S. citizens, Representative Larry Dunphy, Republican from Emblem, said. And in another quote, I can't support a bill that will increase the surveillance state in Maine, Representative Laurel Libby, a Republican in Auburn, said. Utilities are already openly discussing ways to share information with law enforcement to crack down on these grows, and in a quote, that we could have addressed yesterday on the state level, but unfortunately House Democrats again sided with the Chinese Communist Party over the Maine people, Andrew said. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a repeat, you guys.
You just wanted to say that again.
No, I really didn't. It says, while the issue could come up in the state house in the future, that will take some time with the lawmakers just about done with this legislative session, you guys. Well, the trappers are going to flourish. The trap market survives in Maine. What do you guys think about this dead legislation?
It was racist. It was xenophobic, dude. Like straight up.
You think so? I don't think so. So you're saying the federal government is racist and xenophobic? Because it's
no, I'm saying
that's what you're saying.
Under the bill, it says citizens from China, Cuba,
and
Iran,
that's because
North
those
Korea,
are listed. Those are listed by the federal government.
Cuba,
those are
Iran,
listed as adversarial countries by the federal government. That's why they're in there like that.
Every single one of those.
Those are adversarial countries to the United States.
Russia's still up in the air, because there's current stuff going on with
Russia.
Every single one of those, America is at fault. If you look at the facts, look at the work the CIA has done around the world, America's at fault that they're our adversaries. So now you're
I'm not buying that one. China, it's not our fault. China's our adversary.
You can't just single out the specific countries like you can if you are from these countries.
Why can't you?
But everybody else can. There's plenty of terrorists. There's plenty of people fucked up in other nations that can.
There's plenty of other nations to add to the list.
Nah, man.
Just saying.
I feel like the way that the bill was written is very xenophobic. If they wanted this,
I'm not buying that.
You can change what is said in it and find another way to go after these.
I'm not buying that, but craziness. But okay, it's okay. We love.
I think it's comical when they actually now try to bring something forward to make cannabis illegal somehow. People actually ask the right questions about what the fuck are you trying to do and why are you doing this? I mean, we never got that benefit back, 50 years ago when they passed the current federal laws and a lot of these state laws. They just went on the books. Now when they try to bring them back, they have to justify it, and they run into opposition. I don't think you should be identifying particular groups. You should just mark it to the metric of if the State Department declares some country an adversary, maybe that would be a different.
The State Department has declared these countries adversarial.
Rather than just say, hey, if the State Department lists them, you can't buy property in the United States. That's different than providing a list.
That's already fair. That's a fair point, Dale. That's a fair point. I think that could have been an easy amendment adopted by both parties to move this bill forward.
Well, the pendulum swinging against China right now, especially, and when you take a look at what they do versus we do, it's a different universe, and people don't want to live like they do in China. But here in the United States, it's like, why are these people getting to buy land so close to our military facilities and things like that? Problem. And there isn't a good answer other than it's a free country. If you want to change that, then you got to go back to the Congress and get some things changed here.
Fair enough. Any thoughts on this, Yarrow? Stone?
No? Yeah. So, property ownership is an exciting part of the American dream and has been since you were allowed to go west and get your 40 acres and a mule. There's been some alarming things around foreign companies buying up very sensitive and valuable property, not just near military bases, but also agricultural property. We've had something here in the Bay Area where a large amount of land has been quietly assembled with a group that was very opaque in terms of who the ownership was. And so
opaque, huh?
Yeah, opaque. Yeah, and I understand that. But here's my problem. We've got some lack of consistency in the way that we apply these principles, because we also have what's called EB-5.
Yep.
And EB-5 is a program that basically allows you to buy your way into having a U.S. citizenship. And so America has created programs that basically we raise our hand and we say we are for sale, and if you've got enough paper, you can get your green card and become an American citizen. And the three largest markets for EB-5 are the Bay Area, I think Florida, and I'm not sure what the third one was. I'd love to impress our viewership, but I can't today. And so this idea is if you buy a business or a business that includes real property over a certain dollar amount that includes X number of employees, you get a green card or you get American citizenship. And so as long as we have an EB-5 program, it's hard for me to understand how we're going to be able to reconcile balancing our national security interests with our unabashed capitalism that infects every policy we have. And so I'm not opposed to restrictions on foreign ownership, but I think we need to think about it systemically and come up with something that reconciles with the existing programs or change those existing programs. If American citizenship is not for sale, then we need to go back and revamp some of these programs like the EB-5. And if it is for sale, then clearly this other thing, it doesn't matter because there's going to be workarounds. But I am very concerned about the idea that foreign governments through opaque interests are able to acquire high-value real estate in the United States without having to declare their intentions and without transparency.
But Yarrow, isn't it wrong to say that you can't make citizenship not for sale when everything else in America is for sale? Everything is for sale.
Well, yes, no, I do believe it is wrong. I do believe it is wrong because
democracy.
No, I do believe
for sale.
I do believe it is wrong, and let me tell you why. When you look at the Statue of Liberty and she says, give me, you're tired, you're hungry, you're poor, she doesn't say, let me check your bank account first. And so We are based on this idea that immigrants can come to this country and they have equal footing, equal opportunity, never mind whether that's accurate or not. These are our ideals. And so if that equal opportunity is vetted based on how much money you have, that doesn't feel very American to me.
I disagree. It feels more American than anything else because everything is for sale in this country, and you want to get out of jail card free. Look at Donald Trump right now. Why is Donald Trump still standing? Why is he not locked up? Why? Because he has money. Why is he able to continue doing whatever the hell he wants to do? Because he has money. Why are all of these people with deep pockets? Why is Puff Daddy not even arrested for all the shit that he's been doing like over the years? He has money. You know, it doesn't have to be a racial thing. I don't even have to take it into race, but when you have money, money is all that matters to America. And I think we've proven that to ourselves decade after decade, generation after generation here. And Citizens United getting passed a few years back only solidified that and codified it into law.
I agree with you that we have too much of the golden rule infecting and impregnating too much of our culture and society. I understand what you're saying in regards to corporations now being considered people or having the rights of people. And I'm not willing to give up my ideals. I think it's a noble fight. I like to think that we need to push back against that and at least attempt, whether we're successful or not, attempt to level the playing field. This country was built on immigration. It was built on hopes and dreams. It was built on the labor and the efforts of waves of people coming and hoping to better their lives, better their families, better their situation. And none of that was based on this idea that they had to show that they had lots of money in order to do it. And I won't give that up because I think that at the end of the day, that is more American than baseball and apple pie.
And on that, we're going to...
Nope, I guess so.
Yeah, we're gonna. Go ahead, Rico. Go ahead, Rico.
No. Just keep rolling. We can go back and forth with this all day. I love it.
Oh, I know. I know we can.
Rolling. You know,
we're gonna roll right on into attorney Mr. Dale Schaefer. He's